We're talking to Gerko Wende, a director of the Institute of Maintenance, Repair and Overhaul at the German Aerospace Center. Herr Wende, airlines are at the moment, of course, as always, are under increasing pressure in terms of budgeting for MRO processes. Where are the main areas of potential where we can help reduce those costs?
With regard to MRO, for sure.
Yeah.
In MRO, I guess the biggest gain could be the data centricity. Mm-hmm. When we're reaching a situation that nearly everything in the life cycle of an aircraft, as it in MRO, has a digital shadow, is data centricity-wise included in the entire life cycle system, then we could gain a lot of efforts with regard to cost reduction for the airlines and the life cycle, technical life cycle of the aircraft. So that means less material. We would have, even when we have more data at the right moment available, we would have less NFF material, so no fault found, and we are not circulating unnecessary equipment around the world.
At the same time, green innovation, of course, in our industry is a huge area where let's say that there's a lot of pressure for movement and fast development. Where do you think there are the quick gains or I wouldn't call it low-hanging fruit, but the major areas where we can make fast advances?
Yes. For sure, energy is a driving factor as well, and that is when we are coming to a good life cycle analytics to optimize, for sure, the economic point of view and life cycle, but also the ecological life cycle. Then it can reduce material, we can reduce energy spent for material, but also spent for transport. And on a technological level, we have a chance to reduce non-green substances. For example, in cleaning, we could reduce the use of chemicals with regard, for example, to vapor cleaning.
You just mentioned digitization and data centrics, digital twinning and such aspects. They seem to be revolutionizing MRO. At the moment, of course, there's so many other digital technologies, AR, VR, even in blockchain, of course, inspection robots. What kind of role do you think these kind of technologies are going to play in the future?
Well, especially in MRO business, the human will have a major role for all the future we can foresee. So the biggest efforts we spend in research is to integrate the human beings, so the mechanics, into the loop of the maintenance. So that means we do everything that the guy is a personnel who's executing the task, is getting the right data at the right moment, in the right format so that it's not disturbing. And on the other way around, we are working on bringing the task data, so what the personnel has done on the aircraft, on the system, on the asset, back into the data centricity world. So that means that the loop is closed and that there's no additional effort and no system break and no data loss in the entire process of MRO tasks. And yes, we have a lot of good technologies. If the digital assistance system will be fueled by AR, VR technologies, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's simpler as they think at the moment, but definitely the Internet of Things is a core standard that is already established in industries, and we can use a lot of those standards and definition also to bring the human into the loop.
If you had to paint a brief picture of what you think way down the line, 2050 is a date that in our industry gets mentioned a lot because that's the date when our industry is committed to becoming carbon neutral or climate neutral, I should say. What could MRO possibly look like that far down the road? I mean, people are imagining what urban air mobility, for example, is going to look like. What's it? Are these kind of like mind games that engineers sometimes play, what it could be like?
Well, surprisingly, with all the technology we have on hand, the human, so the mechanic, the man will still be part of the MRO, will be in the center, and will be in the center of a data-centric world, and we will have an MRO with less material and with less energy consumption.
Gerko Wende, thank you so much for talking to us today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.